Here's the thing, we can all learn from intercultural relationships even if we don't consider our relationship to be an intercultural one. Here's a secret, all relationships are intercultural relationships. I had this epiphany the other day when I was working with this lovely couple who had come to see me for communication issues. What's so interesting about them is that they're an intercultural couple. One of them is from one country and the other is from a different country and a different culture. And because they know they're from different starting points in their lives, they're coming to this discussion in couples therapy, knowing that they need to have some pretty basic conversations about expectations around things like how they express their love and affection for one another, or what certain behaviors mean to each of them. Let's use Jack and Jill. Keep things anonymous, okay? Jill is telling Jack that she needs him to tell her he loves her more because that's what makes her feel safe and secure in the relationship. But Jack responds that in his culture, the literal words, "I love you," are said like 5 times a year in families. It's a phrase that carries this intense connotation that he found initially really hard to explain. We tried for a little while to come up with an equivalent phrase, and Jack finally told Jill and I, when we say, "I love you" in my culture, it's like saying, "I adore you," or "you mean everything to me." And you Americans use "I love you" to mean everything from "I adore you" to "I really like you" to "good night" and everything in between. And besides being very funny and getting a laugh out of Jill, this was really helpful context for her, because suddenly this hurt she had been carrying over Jack's lack of saying "I love you" as much as she wanted didn't mean he didn't love her. It just meant he was coming from a different perspective on what saying those 3 words means. And this whole interaction got me thinking. The skills these intercultural couples are practicing, skills like having conversations about their expectations for the relationship in pretty open and honest ways, and reflecting on how their partner's experiences growing up in a different context may have led them to develop different ways of looking at and experiencing the world. These are skills all of my couples would benefit from. Even if we are born in the same culture, we don't know what our partner's family culture was like. What was normal for them growing up in their family? Did they see lots of their parents or caregivers fighting? Did them and their siblings talk over each other constantly instead of stopping and waiting for the other person to finish? Heck, it could even be as small as, what was the reaction if they told their family goodnight? Were there hugs? Was there anyone at home to say goodnight to? If they told their family goodnight, would they get maybe a sarcastic response like, "I'll be sure to alert the media"? Certainly can't imagine anyone in my family doing that, Dad. The point is that so many of us assume a certain amount of similarity in our relationships, especially at the beginning. And while that can be great for building positive perspective of our partner, unconditional positive regard, if you will, it can also lead to disillusionment when we discover our partner sees things very differently than we do. We can get judgy and critical and send the message, "Really? You do things that way?" And that criticism can trigger defensiveness in our partners, and before we know it, a chance for deepening our knowledge of our partner has turned into an argument, and we're both feeling hurt, misunderstood, and rejected. How do we avoid this? Do what Jack and Jill did. Have these conversations about your expectations. Assume that your differences are as much a part of what makes your partner attractive as their similarities to you are. Try to see the times you're surprised or baffled or bothered by how your partner has chosen to do things in your relationship as opportunities to deepen your understanding of each other by getting curious and asking some questions. If you can both see this relationship as an opportunity to learn, grow, and negotiate a relationship culture that you are building together, you will find that in navigating these inevitable differences, that you'll be growing your love for one another.
If this helped you, or you'd like to help your relationship grow with one of our amazing therapists, visit us at counselingatl.com to sign up for a free 20-minute consultation, along with a bunch of free, helpful resources to get your relationship on the right track. Hope to hear from you soon.